Welcome everyone to the Sourdough Sidekick channel. My name is Christian and I will be doing a cocoa dark chocolate cherry sourdough loaf today. All right, now we're gonna jump into our Sidekick here. Gonna select our mode and we're gonna go ahead and go into auto. Get a nice big scoop in there. A little more. Let it drop. Right on back in. Now this is the great thing about the Sourdough Sidekick. I can set this off for the weekend and not even have to worry about it. Come Monday morning, I have my nice 400 grams ready to make our loaf. So I'll see you guys in a couple of days. All right, it's Monday, the weekend is over, and our starter is ready. We can go ahead and pop it out. Well, it looks great, but actually the first thing we're gonna do is mix our flour and water. All right, so this recipe calls for 500 grams of bread flour to be mixed with 375 grams of water, but important note is we are doing a cocoa dark chocolate cherry, so we will be substituting 20 grams of our flour for this cocoa powder. That's 480. All right, now we're gonna take our cocoa powder and fill it up till we hit 500 grams. There we go, 500. All right, now we're gonna add our water in. We're gonna go with 75% hydration, so roughly 375 grams. But since we added some cocoa powder in here, and that does like to absorb a little bit more moisture, we're gonna go just a tad bit over 375. All right, we hit 386, just a little over 375, and now we can mix. Then I'm going with my hands on this. Make sure it's all nice and incorporated, get all that flour and water together here. I think that's pretty well incorporated. We're ready to let it sit for 20 minutes, cover it up, and then we'll be back to add our salt and starter. It's been 20 minutes for the autolyse, so let's go ahead and add our starter. We're gonna add 100 grams of starter into this mix, and we can go ahead and save the rest for something else or make a different recipe. Or you can also give it to a friend. Another generous scoop here. See how much we get here. Go ahead and grab our kosher salt and re-zero our scale and add 10 grams. Now to incorporate this all together, you're going to fold it over on its sides, and then you're gonna kind of pinch and squeeze until everything feels nice and combined, nice and consistent in one body. So before we actually get into our first stretch and fold, we have to make sure our mix-in ingredients are ready to go. Since we will be adding dried cherries to our sourdough, we need to make sure that they are nice and moist before we put them in, or else they will take too much of the water out of our dough. We are going to measure out 75 grams of our dried cherries. Go ahead and do this in this bowl so that we can add our nice and warm water to let them soak. Make sure they're all submerged. Usually wait around 15 minutes. There you go. Cool, and now we're just going to pat these down, kind of get all the excess water off. We want the cherries themselves to be nice and moist, but we don't want any of that excess water on top of them. And we are gonna go ahead and add 100 grams of our dark chocolate in here. After we have all of our mix-ins weighed out, we're going to take our dough, spread it thin into a rectangle, and then we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle everything on top. Fold it on up, roll it up, and then do our first stretch and fold. Sprinkle them around. Oh yeah, that's gonna be one full loaf here. Get the edge as best as you can. Grab it. You're gonna take your other edge. You're gonna fold it. There's our ball, and we can set this back into our bowl and do our stretch and folds. Nice. Wet your hands, and get underneath of it, really kind of grab it, stretch it, don't rip it, and then you're gonna wanna try and throw it back down on top of itself. Obviously, it's got a lot of weight to it, so it's not gonna be too easy to start, but you'll get the hang of it as you go along. And grab it, shake it, toss on down. You see we're losing a lot of our toppings in here, so we need to make sure on our stretch and folds that we're really covering it all up, mixing it all in. And when you have a lot of heavy toppings, it can be pretty difficult when you're doing your stretch and folds. But you just gotta push through, and as you go along, you'll figure out better ways to do it. Now we can let this sit for another 30 minutes, and we'll come back and do our second stretch and fold. Come on. All right, it's covered, and now we're gonna let it sit and bulk ferment for 4 to 5 hours. So now we get into the shaping portion. I'm actually going to set our cutting board aside, and then we are going to make sure that we flour our surface while we're doing this. Stick on up there. There it is. Take it from some of your edges here, and you're gonna wanna fold it on halfway over, like that. And you're gonna do this on every side. So you take it from the edge again and fold it halfway over. Take it from this side. Again, fold it over. Take it from this side. And once more, fold it over. And now we have to wait, give it about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna come back, do the same folding, and then we're getting into our shaping. Now this is the part that takes some practice, the part that I personally struggle with, but you're gonna take it, quarter turn, and then hands under and kind of pull it towards yourself to really kind of build the skin of your sourdough here. Make sure you've got some flour in with it. So you're gonna, all one motion, kind of fast, take it, turn, pull it towards yourself. You want it to kind of grab on the surface you're on. So quarter turn, pull in, see how it's sliding? You need to find a spot where when you do your grab, it kind of pulls the skin tighter. You can see it's tightening up there. Quarter turn, tuck it under. Now we're going to take our banneton basket. You can do it with your cloth in here or not. I, like Rick, also like the texture that not having the cloth leaves on it. So you're gonna set our bowl here. You're gonna take some of your flour again, and again, just lightly flour the surface. Kind of get underneath of it, and then you will put this in seam side up. So we're gonna flip it on over, just like that. And if you see any seams, you can go ahead and pinch them. See, there's some seams here. Try and get rid of these here. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and let this proof overnight in the fridge covered, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow for bake day.
Boom.
Now while that's preheating, we've got our loaf right here, and we're gonna go ahead and flip it right onto our parchment paper. There it goes. I've got some cocoa, flour, and turbinado sugar set aside here, because we're actually gonna do a little bit of topping on top of it. All right, so we're going to take our cocoa and our flour, sprinkle it evenly over the top, and we'll do this before we make our cuts, and then we'll go ahead and drop our sugar on top inside of our cut as well. Take it, make sure we get nice and deep, nice cut along it. There you go. Smaller, lighter cuts just around our edge. All right, we're preheated. Now let's pop the Dutch oven out and get this loaf in the oven. All right, now we're gonna let that sit in for 30 minutes covered and come back and do 15 uncovered. Smells good. All right, this looks amazing. Now it's time to cut into it. Oh yeah. we go. I definitely think it's still a little dense. It's not as airy as I would like, but really sweet, really good. Get another bite. So you got a cherry here. See how that is. Definitely chocolatey. Definitely happy with this. It was definitely an experiment, and I'm eager to see what you guys think we should try next. Be sure to check out our other content, and also be sure to check out the Sourdough Sidekick. It's available now, and there will be a link down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.